Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Motorbike Restoration Project. On today's episode we're going to be looking at what we need to remove to finally remove the engine. So let's take a closer look and see what we need to take off. Right, so we're going to start on the left hand side of the bike. So what we have is we've got the peg here, your footrest, and we have the clutch lever here, which is connected via a rod which comes onto the side of the gearbox, which we have to remove. Looks like we have a marking, so that should line up fine, so we ain't got to worry about that. We've also got the foot stand, which we're going to remove at the same time. Now with the foot stand, it has a electronic component on it which indicates up onto the speedo. It's got a little red light that tells you that when the foot stands down. Also, if the foot stands down, you try to engage it into gear, it will cut the engine altogether. So we're going to have a look at taking these off first, and we've got, looks like, two 12mm there and another one there. We've also got a 10mm squeeze bolt which we need to remove, and then we should be able to take everything off in one hit. Right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to remove the 10mm pinch bolt here, which should release the mechanism away from the gearbox. So we'll just drop the stand out of the way to get better access. And that's the clutch mechanism released. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove the three 12mm. Actually, it's only going to be two. The one at the back there actually holds the clutch lever on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that one for the moment. Don't want to remove that if I don't need to. I'll just undo these two down here. And that should take the whole peg assembly and clutch lever off in one hit. And there it goes. Now, just be careful when you're removing the actual bar out, because like I said, you've got a connection here which is part of your stand, so just make sure you don't want to catch that. And there's the mechanism completely removed. So we'll put them to one side. Now the stand looks like we've got a spring we could probably release. We've got a small, looks like an 8mm, which holds the mechanism in place. Okay, right. We'll grab a pair of pliers and a 8mm, and we'll start taking that apart. Right, so I'm just going to remove this spring. Obviously it's under tension, so try to be careful here. And that's the spring released. And now I'm just going to crack off this 8mm. Hopefully the electronics will come off. We'll see. That's that back out of the way. Right, there's a 14mm nut on the other side. That's a bit groggy, that's going to need a good old clean up. But yeah, so basically what you've got is it goes through and it's actually threaded. It's actually threaded through there, if you can see that. So this one goes through. And then that does up, and then you've got the nut which goes onto the back, which holds it all into place. Right, so now we've got that all removed. We've got some wires and some bits and pieces, but we'll worry about them in a minute. What we'll do is we'll jump round to the other side and we'll have a look at that one. Right, what we'll do is we'll take the brake lever off first. Looks like it's just a pinch bolt, so we'll crack that off. Right, it's on a spline. Just grab something to leave that off with. There we go. Here he comes. So yeah, if you can see that, so it's a spline with a chamfer. That's obviously, as you put the bolt through, the bolt sits in there and locks it all into place. So that's your brake lever off. And then it's just the two 12mm to remove to take the footrest off. And there's the other footrest removed. Right, things are coming along nicely now. As we're around this side, what I'm going to do is we'll just position the camera up a little bit for you. There you go. Right, while we're around here, obviously we removed the clutch bracket to remove the clutch lever which is up on the handlebars. Obviously I need to get this out of the way, and looks like the cable just simply pops out like so. So that's the clutch cable removed, so we'll remove that out of the frame in a second. Right, so now obviously we removed the clutch cable. What it does is it runs up through the frame here and then comes out this side and ends up over here. So I just got to feed that back through, which should be straightforward. What we've got here looks like just a rubber surround. There you go. So yeah, so it just comes out get it around. Right, there's some wires there, so obviously when removing it, be very careful, you don't want to rip those wires. You just need to get it past the loom. Comes out of the frame. And there is one clutch cable removed. What we do is we'll just put it down there for the moment. Okay, right, this one here, it's the throttle that runs through the forks, round underneath the frame. Let's go around the other side. And it drops in there on top of the carburettor. What I'll do is we'll just pull that out past the forks, and I'll remove the cable with the actual carburettor. So we'll look at that next.